Well, it was one of the deadliest days since Israel started its military campaign in Gaza, a deadly ambush in a dense urban neighborhood in northern Gaza, in precisely the part of the Gaza Strip that Defense Minister Yoav Gallant had previously said only had pockets of resistance. In this case, the Israeli military says the troops lost contact with 4 soldiers, then staged a rescue operation, but that then led to an ambush by militants with gunfire and explosives. 9 Israeli soldiers lost their lives in that incident, 10 altogether in one day alone in Gaza. That is a lot and brings the number to 115 since the start of the military operation. Remember that ground troops have been in the Gaza Strip for 6 weeks now. Now that number, of course, pales in comparison to the huge number of Palestinian deaths in the Gaza Strip since the 7th of October. The Hamas-run Ministry of Health in the Gaza Strip says that that number is now at over 18,600. The dire humanitarian situation got worse overnight with heavy rainfall, particularly in the southern Gaza Strip. That led to flooding in some of the tent camps that are now in the south, because that is precisely where the Israeli military told civilians to go to, and where they, in theory at least, should be safe. Israel is not getting any closer to a ceasefire. It's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu saying today that nothing will stop us, and we are continuing until the end, whenever or whatever that end might look like. Certainly not an end that will come due to international pressure. International pressure comes from, for example, that vote in the UN General Assembly, an emphatic vote for that resolution for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, with no votes, not surprisingly, from Israel, but also the United States. It was also more or less at exactly the same time that US President Joe Biden had his strong criticism toward the military tactics used by Israel in the Gaza Strip, talking about indiscriminate bombing. We'll have to wait and see whether that is a term that will be used in Jerusalem by the White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan. He will be here for the next 2 days, and he'll be meeting Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his war cabinet here in Jerusalem. Philip Crowther with the Associated Press for CGTN in Jerusalem.